Thank you and welcome to another edition of Entrepreneurs en Fuego, where entrepreneurs meet and where we are documenting the journey of entrepreneurs such as my dear, you're my new best friend, man, because you're doing all this taxes thing that is coming out around the corner. Guys, Velez, man, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good, man.
All right.
Pleasure to meet you. Tax time.
It's tax time, but that's not the only thing that you do, because you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And then the moment you walked in, I'm like, man, this guy's got at least 2 or 3 different businesses, man. What do you do?
Well, I got 4 right now.
I'm cutting you short, man.
So the way I look at the year is there's a season for everything,
Right.
So tax season is the season from January to April, so that's our tax season. And we roll into what we call our solar season, so we have a solar company that we work with.
All right,
and
that's cool.
Then we go into the auto season, so we have a car dealership that we sell our cars through. And then for the rest of the year, we have a financial services company. And then lastly, I run a sales division for the Latin American international side of an education company. So I'm pretty busy.
Which, if you had to pick tomorrow, and you're just gonna have to pick one of the businesses that you're running right now. Which is the one that you would pick?
Education. Education, I've been doing it for 6 years. I love it. It's one thing that financially is not always the most rewarding, but it is the most gratifying because you get to help people learn English as a second language. You help people get a degree. You help people change the course of their life and the trajectory of where they're going. You know, I can tell you, just my mom, being a single mom, seeing her get a degree and become a nurse and change the course of our lives inspired me to go to school, and being able to empower others is kind of, it's important to me.
And in a sense, what you're doing, though, in every business that you describe, you're educating your clients, right? Because if I come to you for tax preparation, tax advice, you have to educate me.
Absolutely.
Hey, this is the paperwork you have to bring in this year, and for next year, let's plan a little bit.
Absolutely.
And that's education.
And that's the key, and that's what separates us. In our tax side, that's what we do, and we pride ourselves on that. Taking that time, it's not about the volume, it's about the customer, and making sure they completely understand all the opportunities they have, and a lot of times they don't understand the credits that they're missing. So when you slow them down, you say, hey, let's not rush through it, let's pay attention to it, and make sure we get credit for everything you did last year. That changes the course of what they're doing.
So I think it was maybe a couple of years ago, a lot of the rules and regulations that govern the tax preparation companies, that changed, correct?
Oh yeah, it changed. And they also changed, what's nice about some of the changes they made it with the healthcare. So the healthcare is now a part of the taxation. So if you don't have healthcare, there's a penalty. That penalty, it comes in, it's pretty stiff. This year it's $325 per person.
So I come to you and I say, prepare my taxes, and then are you obligated not to ask me proof of medical insurance? Or how does that work?
Well, we ask you the question. Right. Have you had healthcare coverage? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. We take you at your word. But there's a form that if you did go through the Obamacare system or the ACA program, what they call it, there's a form that it's created so we see it, so we know that you did have it. But if you have it through your employer or different ways, then there's other ways to kind of prove it. The nice thing about it is that we also offer a full financial services. So if you don't have it, we can enroll them into healthcare as well. So I'm licensed to do that.
You just got it. Even if I don't have it, and if I forgot to apply for it, you're like, don't worry, man.
I'm here for you.
I got the hookup.
We're the one-stop shop. We want to solve the gaps in people's portfolios. They don't even know they have them until we show it to them. Okay, you don't have this, you don't have that. Good news, we offer all those products now.
Were you always this entrepreneurial oriented, or did you work for corporate America before? What did you do before?
Well, it was a bug. My dad was an entrepreneur. I didn't know him that much. He left when I was 4, but I always felt like the bungee cord pulling me towards doing my own thing. So I was in corporate America. I did it for 7 years. I was a financial planner for USAA. That's how I came out of Arizona.
Okay.
But I started selling real estate on the side. Well, they migrated 1,800 people here. Well, I sold almost every one of those houses to all those people that are migrating here. Well, that gave me an opportunity to say, okay, do I want to stay in corporate America where they tell me when and how to come and go?
Yep.
Or do I want to grow my own opportunity? So I decided to leave corporate America. Funny enough, I went overseas. I went to work in Switzerland. I was working in Bangkok and Hong Kong, China. Those were my 2 territories. And I just saw a different world. I thought the America I knew was the only way it went, but there's a whole other world out there. And that's what I love about working in the international side of the business.
The fact that you worked in the international side of the business, the fact that you've been to all of these countries, do you realize, does it make you more shall I say, more tolerant and understanding as to how the rest of the world view America. Because, some of us, I've met people that have never gotten out of Arizona. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And, they think that the world is the United States.
Right.
But having that edge and having that advantage of having been overseas, then it gives you an entirely different perspective of what we're all about, right?
It gives you appreciation of being American, first and foremost, because you have the ability to travel. A lot of these people, you go to their country, they can never leave that country. And they tell you, you're so lucky you get to cross the water. I'll never be able to do that. I don't have that passport. I don't have the opportunities you have. So that, for one, is kind of neat to see. But on top of it, you can also see that you can be a part of the solutions. Some of those countries that are struggling, they're struggling for the simple reasons that they don't understand the international language, which is English. So if you can take English to the country, it changes the unemployment rate, changes the competitiveness, it allows them to get outside of the country, and it allows them to do other things. If you're just encapsulated in one language, and the global, with the internet and technology today, everything's shrinking, so everyone's competing with one another. But if you're not able to speak the language, you're not even in the same race. So it's hard for those countries to compete.
So locally, you have your clientele established. They come year after year, I would imagine, to seek out your services and so forth. And I think what is smart about what you have done is you've created this platform where, all right, I have my January to March clients, but those clients, if they get a refund or whatnot and they have a property, maybe they're potential clients for a solar
absolutely.
system, and then they probably want to buy a car, and you can just give them that and everything else. So you're like a little octopus, man. You just got it going on.
Yeah, well,
every
I
aspect.
learned a rule very early in life, and they said if you sell one product per household, you have a customer. If you sell 3, you have a client, and that usually is for life. So if you want someone to be with you forever, you have to solve more than one problem for them, and then they always come to you first. It's a beautiful thing. So you get to help more people.
And that's an incredible formula, because what you're doing, it could probably be applied to just about any other industry, right? It doesn't have to be taxes, cars, and solar.
Right. Yeah, you pick the industry.
If you pick an industry and then you kind of pick related industries that your clients could benefit from,
right,
then all right. So you have different what are called verticals
Yeah.
that you can apply your knowledge
Exactly.
and your client base to benefit from.
Exactly. So it's a 97-3 principle. So what you find is that if you sell one product per household, you have a 97% chance of losing it to the competition. But if you sell 3 products per household, you have a 97% chance it'll stay with you forever. So the quickest thing you have to do is find the 3rd product. Because now you know they're with you for good.
You get like 4 or 5 companies, and we're gonna do this thing in about 2 years. You're like, well, I've got about 10 different companies over here.
Whatever it takes. Because you're serving the client's needs and wants, and then they tell you, if you just listen to your client, they'll say, I wish I had this or that, and then you're like, well, I can go build that. They say build it and they will come. Well, if you listen well to your clients and you serve their needs, then you build what they need.
What's been your biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge here in Arizona, it's kind of been, I wouldn't say it's a challenge. I say it's an opportunity. I work with a lot of the Hispanic community.
Sure.
And I see that the I-10 filers don't get treated the same way. They don't get the same credits. And it breaks my heart, I'll be honest with you. You see that they work so hard, they're trying to do the right thing by paying their taxes, and they get none of the benefits. And that's hard. It's hard to swallow. So what I've started creating is an opportunity to help them have a path to citizenship, to get into the DREAM Act, to see where there's opportunities where they can actually change from being an illegal alien or non-resident to get them into a green card, get them into a permanent residency, or allow them to become a citizen.
Do you think that will be beneficial with a Republican or with a Democratic?
Oh, okay. You knew the answer before you asked the question. That was a rhetorical question. I'll say the independent.
It doesn't matter, man. I mean, we absolutely don't want walls being built in our borders. Absolutely. I mean, that's just asinine. Just bring it down.
Right.
Because that's exactly what you have done. And I think that what you've done is bring walls down. Right. Because now you have all these clients with multiple services, the 97-3 rule. So that's what you're going to. The best advice you're going to give our entrepreneurs watching this video, what is it? Best advice you're going to give?
Best advice, I would say, guys, follow your heart. Find something you love to do, and do it for the people that you care about. If you do something with passion, everything else will take care of itself. Put people first.
Passion, I think, is probably the subtitle I'm gonna have for this interview, because, man, that's what you got, my brother.
Yeah, I love it.
Man, guys, man, you're the man, brother, and I appreciate you
Hey,
coming
thank
in.
you.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, the whole thing, and we're gonna see you again, man. I mean, I love your enthusiasm. You got like 4 companies going on, and you're always looking to benefit the client, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Appreciate
man.
you having
And
me.
with that, we're out.